speaker for today. He is the president of City Furniture. He graduated with degrees in finance and accounting from Illinois University in 2005 and received his MBA in entrepreneurship from Nova University, which is right up the street from me, actually. Andrew began his full-time career with City Furniture in 2006 in receiving department and unloading furniture on containers, and has worked his way up through the company in almost all divisions of the company. He spent significant time streamlining the operations department in the first 8 years of his career to become one of the industry's best. Currently, Andrew is serving as the president of City Furniture, overseeing all departments, and he's also on the Junior Achievement Board. So, Andrew, thank you for your time. We're so happy to have you here today.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm here to share a little knowledge, right, on problem solving.
Yep.
So, but anybody chat away or ask me any questions. I'm gonna try not to bore you and try to teach you something that I think was invaluable for my career. So I'm gonna try to share my screen here. Just let me know if you could see it, okay? All right. So you still see it? I'm good.
Yep, good to go.
All right, cool. So at City, I think this is pretty invaluable for everyone starting out their career. I don't care what background you got or what skills you've learned or what certifications or schools you've gone to or any degrees. For me as a president of 2,200 people at City Furniture, all I really, I'm really looking to find the most talented people that can solve problems. So me personally, I wasn't the greatest student in the world. I didn't get A+ on everything. But what I think what helped me in my career is I'm kind of all about problem solving. And very early on in my career working for City, I was fortunate enough to be taught how to solve problems. And that made me very successful. Because if you can solve problems, you can do anything. And, I'm not a big, great I got that certification or great I got an A+ on that, or whatever. When you come to City and you want to be a part of our team, it's really, we're looking for people that can solve problems and work with teams and, in a very fact-based and a very teamwork-like manner, get to the root of a problem and then solve it. And whether that's make something safer, whether that's, improve customer satisfaction, you name it. So I think for all of, the kids that are on the call, like this to me is like, this is invaluable if you want to be very, very successful in whatever you want to do. If you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be in business, whatever it may be, you have to learn how to solve problems if you want to be successful. And I'll get into how we do it at City, okay? And so this might be a little bit of an eyesore. I'll try to go through it and then I'll try to give you an example. And just so I know, Brianna, how much time do I have, by the way?
You can go for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. So I was taught to, before I was taught the appropriate way to solve problems, kind of basically there was this theory at City, which was ready, fire, aim, which was basically just don't plan, don't just figure it out and just throw stuff at the wall and something will stick and something will improve. And, you'll read a lot of books or you might hear some things that says, fail fast and, just figure it out as you go. In principle, I get what they're saying and I think it's great, but truthfully, if you want to solve problems quickly and efficiently and fast, you got to plan. So in this visual right here, there's 5 things we do before we do anything, meaning actually, improve anything. So we try to understand, number one, what the problem is. You'd be surprised how many meetings I get into that some people think this is the problem. Some people think this is the problem. And we really have to work together to understand what is the real problem that is happening. What is the main problem? And then we break down that problem even further into smaller micro chunks to really understand all the little things that might be causing that problem. And then we, as a team, we decide, what are we actually trying to do? What's the goal? What's the target? Do we want it to go? Do we want to eliminate it? Do we want to increase something? Do we want to improve an experience? Whatever it may be. And in order to get there, what are the root causes that we need to solve in order to achieve that goal? And then after really spending that additional time having those discussions, then we start throwing ideas out there. And I'm not sure, but even my father taught me, sometimes we fall in love with our first idea. I bet you all of you guys have been on a school project or had a situation, and the first idea that comes up, you fall in love with. At Citi, we force everyone to come up with multiple countermeasures, like many ideas, crazy ideas, little, even though we might know for a fact this is the right countermeasure, we force our teams to think of a lot of different other countermeasures and a lot of other ideas. And countermeasure just means ideas. And what that does is it kind of makes you impartial, and it prevents you from falling in love with your first idea. And I think, myself included, everybody always falls in love with their first idea because they think they're smart and they think this is the right answer because it's the first idea that comes to their mind. But what we have to force our brains to do is actually come up with many ideas. And then once that is what we call the P section, which is the plan section of problem solving. The next one is the D section, which is do. So we'll actually begin to narrow down those great ideas and do a few of them. Maybe one, maybe two, and to test our theories, to test our ideas. And once we start doing them, the C is pretty simple. We just monitor the results. Did it work? Did it not work? And then through those tests, those experiments and tracking the data, we don't just do any of this by, hey, we think it worked, we didn't work. We use data to prove whether it did or didn't. And only once we have data to validate that our idea worked, then we actually standardize and make it what we call a standard work, or like law at Citi. So this concept of plan, do, check, and act is like the most fundamental, important concept that's out there. If you're in science, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to do, this is a very important theory or methodology that they apply. But truthfully, it can be applied in every single type of business, any single type of job. Athletes, you name it. They come up with their plan, they test their plan, they check their results, and then they do it again until they know their training methodology works. So, for the group, I hope that makes sense. It's kind of high level, but it's a little methodical. But I just, thought that, if someone had to teach me and, prior to going to college or anything like that, I wish someone would have told me this concept back in the day. So I'll give you an example of what something at Citi Furniture looks like. And this is what we have as an 8-3. It's what all of our problem solving projects are on one piece of paper. We like to think time is valuable, and we're not into book reports. We're not, you can't put anything on my desk that's more than one page to read because, we're all busy. And this concept of a one single page document, if someone can't, visualize their story, their problem, and what they want to do on one page, we ask them to do it again until they can. So this is real. Everybody loves this. It's called, so it's that same 8 steps that I walk you through, but you have to get it on one piece of paper, on one A3 size piece of paper. So A3 means 11 by 17. Your typical Word doc's 8.5 by 11 vertical. This is 11 inches height, 17 length. And you can see on this example, there's a team of 5 people that had a problem. and they visualized they clarified what their problem is in the top. Here's exactly what's going on. They broke down the problem even further. And step 3 is they set a goal. They wanted to hit their target. They wanted to cut something in half. They were performing at this rate. They wanted to solve it in half. They visualized all the root causes that were causing the problem in that bottom left corner there. And then they came up with, I think, maybe like 10 ideas on here. And it looked like they only narrowed it down to 4, which they actually tested and got approved. Then they actually tested those results. They divided action items, who's going to do what by when. They monitored their results. And then based off of their monitoring, they're checking their results. They standardized the processes that were successful. So it might sound simple and easy, but I promise you that this problem-solving methodology is like the most important thing in the world to Citi. And some of the best companies in the world adopt the same methodology, like Toyota, NASA. It's all about really making difficult problems easy to comprehend and understand. What are the root causes? Test those theories, check those results, and see what happens. So this is how we solve problems at Citi Furniture using those 8 steps in a 1-sheet document. And as you can see, those 5 people on the top right there, that's a very diverse group. This is something kind of also important at Citi. We don't like solving problems on our own. We like to solve them as a team because we all have different perspectives. We all have different experiences. We all have different ideas. So in this case, there was 5 people, and I know these people very well. One's in marketing, one's in IT, one's in merchandising, and one is in HR. So we have a very diverse group of people that solve problems, and that's how we get the best results, because sometimes the people that have never seen that problem ever or situation or whatever is going on, they're actually they come up with the best ideas because they don't have those preconceived solutions of what they see it. So I get very nervous, me personally, seeing our business every day and every department. And then I fall into the, natural human behavior of knowing what I know and not kind of expanding my, understanding of what could be if I don't. So what I try to do prior to this COVID-19 crisis, I traveled a lot. I visit hundreds of businesses a year, speak to different organizations in furniture, in manufacturing, IT, you name it, all different types of industries, to just keep making sure my mind is fresh and that I don't fall into, the same old way of thinking or doing the same things the same way. So, but having teams that are very cross-functional really help us be really strong with our ideas. And it's also a lot of fun. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or if that makes any sense at all. I hope it does. Brianna, are we allowed to take questions?
Yeah. You guys, if you have any questions, you can take yourself off mute and ask. Or you can also ask them in the chat box if you feel more comfortable there.
All right, you let me know if we have any.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay. So something we do at Citi, we actually have a lot of fun with problem solving. So we actually have problem solving competitions every quarter. And so everybody in the entire company, we have 2,200 people. We want 50% of our workforce to be in a problem solving project. We call them Citi Circles, Citi Continuous Improvement Through You. So every quarter, we ask these teams to present. We have like a happy hour and feed everybody, and 20 teams present on the problems that they're solving within the company. And everybody votes on the best project. Everybody on that team, first place, everybody gets $100, second place, 50, 25, 10. And then we do some other awards, but the bottom one is like the most exciting one, which is the best project of the year, we pay everybody $1,000. And so, you know, we have a lot of fun, a lot of competition. And at Citi, we're constantly trying to teach people those 8 steps. And we're constantly trying to force people to solve problems in departments they've never worked in before. It forces everybody to meet each other, learn each other's jobs, and respect each other's jobs, because, you know, an HR person solving an IT problem, or an IT problem solving an HR person's problem, everybody starts to respect each other a lot more and realize that, hey, everybody's very valuable and very key to our organization. And everybody has new friends, and you know, it's a lot of competition, exciting. We've seen people go through these problem-solving projects and actually transfer into new departments, or want to do different jobs because they find out something very exciting that they never thought was exciting, like developing or coding or HR, you name it. So we do a lot of stuff to reward cross-functional problem solving and have a lot of fun with it.
Okay, so you have 3 questions here.
Okay.
So the first question that was asked is, what makes a team successful?
Sure. So I think just being very fact-based, very you know, non-emotional, and just very, you know, problem identification. Like a good problem-solving team, like nobody leads with emotion. They just really scientifically drill down to what's the root causes of the problem. A great problem-solving team allows everyone to give ideas. So it's not about who's the smartest, who has the highest title, rank, who makes more money. Everybody is completely equal, and everybody needs to listen to everybody's ideas. But I think if you have transparency, everybody speaks. If you're very fact-based and not too emotional, you don't fall in love with your ideas. You don't fall in love with what you think is the right way to do it. And you're very like, just very methodical in your approach to solving the problem. And you keep going through those 8 steps, you'll get to the root cause of the problem. I've seen teams unbelievably successful if they just, you know, keep at it, keep drilling, keep testing, and keep working together, and you know, keep talking, and just very transparent. And a good team always has fun. You know, I always think you gotta enjoy who you work with, so you have to have good relationships with each other. You gotta, you know, be kind and respectful and trust each other. All the basic things of being just a good human being, you know, in my opinion, makes a good team. I hope that helps.
Okay. All right. So the second question is, if problems within the team occur, how do you solve them?
Problems how, if you don't mind, like getting to the solution or hitting the goal, or.
So Madalena, if you can kind of expand on that question for us, and we'll move to the next question and then come back to that one. So the next question was, how was your experience at business school, and what would you say was the most valuable concept you learned while there?
So my experience at Nova was fantastic. I loved meeting all the professors that had a lot of real world experience of, you know, being successful in their industries. So I think it was great from just expanding your network and learning from those stories. It's so important to find mentors that have done it before and learn from those stories that they've had to, you know, to make their career successful. So it was really valuable. What was the second question of that question?
Hold on, I'm asking for clarification now.
Okay, sorry.
We actually got another question. They said, we all know that there are a lot of furniture stores out there, but what makes Citi Furniture unique?
Yeah. So at Citi, number one, I would say, you know, we believe we have the largest selection at, you know, better than or just as good as Amazon or Wayfair pricing, with better style that you can get same day, next day. I would say, what else? We're you know, we're really proud of obviously executing really well on the product side. But the service side, we put a tons of development and training to our salespeople, our customer care people. All of our drivers are employed by Citi Furniture. We don't outsource anything. We want to make sure the customer experience is perfect from beginning to end. and that's why our customer satisfaction is 96%. So, to put it in comparison, like that would be like the equivalent of like a Southwest Airlines. I think you got to have great customer experience. And then, something we really pride ourselves at is our giving back. So we're not just a business trying to make money. We're actually, our purpose is to enrich people's lives and make the world a better place. So we give back a minimum 5% of our profits every year to South Florida-based philanthropic organizations. So we're huge into the community. And then this past year, we just rolled out, we've always been green, but now we're making a very strong commitment to achieve carbon neutral by 2040. So 100% of our trucks, every truck you see on the road has 50% less emissions than any other truck because we use compressed natural gas. I think 4 of our stores are solar powered now. So we're very green. So, if I had to sum that up, we give a great customer experience. We take great care of our associates. We have a great product at a great price and a great speed. And we also do good in the community, which we think is important. We've always done that. We're just making it more public in the last year or so. So those would be some of my call outs why I would say shop with us.
That was a great answer, Matthew. Okay, so back to the second question. They asked if problems within the team occur, how do you solve them? And her explanation was, by problems, I mean in a group not getting along for some reason.
Yeah, that's a good question. So at City, we have a document that I would recommend maybe if you do join a team or you create a team. It's called a roles and responsibilities document. So we actually make sure everybody understands their roles and responsibility to be a member of the team. So we'll have discussions like be transparent, be positive, be fact-based, be fun, energetic, supportive. If someone gives an idea, don't bash them, don't ever, something that's very important to me, like, it drives me nuts. Never make fun of anybody's idea, and don't ever make fun of anybody's questions. Everybody has a different perspective, and you have to take that. You learn something from that. So we're really serious about setting the tone of what is your role and responsibility to be a good team member. So most teams that I see fail don't make that very clear up front of like, what does it mean to be a part of this team? How do we want to treat each other throughout this project? How do we want to take care of each other throughout this project? What are the goals of this project working together? So my recommendation, if you want to have a good, hardworking team that you enjoy working with, figure out those roles and responsibilities early, have a discussion with the team and talk about those roles and responsibilities and have everybody sign off on it and say, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be fun. I'm going to be on time. I'm going to whatever those things are that are important to you and the team, get that up front, get everybody to kind of in a way shake hands and that'll solve about 80-90% of the problems. I would say it's usually when it's not clear that someone didn't know they couldn't show up to a meeting 20 minutes late every day, or they didn't know they had to bring a positive attitude every day. So sometimes set those expectations up front and you'll have a lot better success, I think.
Okay, Andrew, if there was one piece of advice you would give a high school senior, what would that advice be?
Good question. Oh man, just one. There's a lot. I'd say I'll stick with this topic. I think you can do anything if you really learn how to solve problems. So depending on what journey if you want to be the best doctor in the world, if you want to be the best lawyer in the world, if you want to be the best business person in the world, you have to be really good at solving problems. And so I would say work hard, study a lot, and just practice your craft as much as possible. I love this thing I just learned the other day because I personally I'm going through this COVID-19 crisis. We're having to learn how to grow our business in sales channels that we typically don't operate in. So I'm learning the sales process more than I've ever had, or the sales world more than I've personally had. So, what that means is, like, I would just say, if you want to be successful senior year, any year, whatever grade, wherever you are in life, you got to be a student of the game. You got to learn, you got to work hard at it. And if you're getting smarter every day, you'll get closer to your goals. There's no doubt in my mind. So work hard, learn, you'll get there.
All right. Or do we have any other questions, guys? We can go ahead and put those in the chat.
Can I
You can
ask
also come off
can I ask a question to them?
Yeah, for sure.
Out of everybody on this list, who has been taught formal problem solving? Just curious. Because usually it's not many.
Mhm.
Like, anybody?
And by formal, do you mean as
Like-
in a school setting?
Like a process or a method that you would use to solve a problem. And just to be clear, I wasn't taught this when I was their ages. I just curious if this is something that's out there, because think about how important problem solving is, but we don't really talk about how to teach kids how to solve problems. It's just, I don't know if anybody was taught formally.
Well, Aaron just responded, and he said, "My mother has gotten me through for formal understanding, but by stepping back and thinking logically."
That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
So, and I know our South Broward students, I'm not sure if any of them are in the chat currently. Our South Broward students were able to undergo some Six Sigma training.
Perfect. Great. That's awesome. Cool. Anything else you guys want from me?
Yes, Lori. Any other questions, guys? You can go ahead and put them in the chat. We only have them here for a few more minutes.
Yeah, put me to work.
Well,
Anyone want to be bold?
while we're waiting, Brianna, while we're waiting for any last comments, I just want to say thank you to Andrew. For those of you on the call, he's one of our great board members, and just this is the kind of thinking and leadership that he not only brings to City Furniture, but also brings to nonprofits like Junior Achievement. And Andrew, one of the things that the JAA career bound and entrepreneurship programs teach, not formally, right? Like, okay, we're going to learn about problem solving right now, but when these kids are running their companies or going out to meet these industry leaders and working on their business plans, they're learning problem solving, right? Because they have to run a business, right? A small business. So they're learning it. And so those tools probably could be very helpful for them. And then the last thing I just want to say is that, thank you. Andrew and City Furniture have been committed to providing internships to students like ours who do get the chance to experience these skills. I'm not sure what we'll be doing this year yet, but I just wanted to say thank you for that and for being such a great partner.
Of course, no problem.
Yes, thank you, Andrew. Okay, so we didn't get, did you have any final words? We don't have any additional questions.
Yeah, I said, okay, everybody go tell all your friends and your family members, shop at City Furniture, okay?
Exactly. Okay, so Fabi, they said LOL. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
So Fabi has a few announcements. We actually are going to give away our first giveaways to the students who have been committed and watching our sessions. So Fabi actually has an announcement to make for everyone that has been watching, and we're going to give away some gift cards. So Fabi, if you want to take over.
Yes. Give me 1 second to pull them up. Also, you guys, meanwhile, I'm going to send the survey through here. So take a second to do that.
And Andrew, I don't know if you can see the chat now that you stopped screen sharing, but they're talking to you in there.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, like Brianna said, we're going to start giving a few giveaways to the people that are coming to the sessions the most. So the winners from the past 2 weeks are Ruth Lubin, Madalena Freyden, Maria Pina Leon, Natisha Dolbris, and Shire Paul. So they're all going to get a $50 gift card to Amazon. The next few weeks, we'll make the announcements on Mondays for the previous week, so you guys kind of know who was in attendance and not. And then we'll email you all of that as well. We'll email the winners. And then next Wednesday, we're going to have our next session at 2 p.m. So we'll email you all the invite for that as well. And that's pretty much it for me.
Yay. So congratulations to everyone that won. Keep watching so you guys can win more prizes. And again, thank you, Andrew. We appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, I put my email in there. If you guys ever wanted to reach out to me, I'm always available, andrewk@cityfurniture.com. I was lucky to have great mentors growing up, so if you guys need to ever reach out to me, I'm always available.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in.